Well, not only is Warner undoing good things because stupid, we have Terror Visa, ready to bring more horrible stuff and possibly killing better things. Hi beautiful people, and welcome to the dark neighborhood that the CH franchise has become. I don't like the El Chavo and El Chapulin cartoons, as I've said before. I've literally only seen episodes for the channel, and almost always arrive at the same conclusion. It could be better, but they'd rather recycle the stories. Something not even Bolaños could do well every time. The designs are so weak. Better 3D models than I expected, honestly. It's not Jarau, but El Chavo's hat looks a bit too big. Chilindrina's glasses look like they're gonna fall off here and there. And though Junior's tie being silky is kinda weird, Kiko...
E parece que o Quagmire tem mais um filho, porque olha só a semelhança dele com o Kiko. Claro, isso se aquele leiteiro que apareceu no desenho de 2006 não for o pai real do Kiko nesse universo. Coitado do professor Girafales.
Mr. Belliard was the only one not to change much, I'd say. Mr. Raymond and Mrs. Worfsmore's heads seem too big. The professor's is long, but it's not that bad. Though the arms look bad and the hands look small. Is Mrs. Worfsmore bald? The animation doesn't look bad by itself, but its usage seems lazy. The best example are the 4 children from below, each with a brush making small circles and colors spiraling in the center. Clearly they wanted them making the spiral, but didn't care to make it get even close to that. And it's particularly noticeable since it's 3D, so predicting what they can do and cover the flaws is essential. It's not as if they couldn't paint closer and the color come from those spots. Then you see the non-liquid coffee and it's clear they didn't care. We have no scripts, of course, but it leaves the impression the plan is the same. Recycle Bolaños' jokes, if not whole stories. Chilindrina banging drums so focused on looks like the band episode. Kiko being silenced can be the same joke from The Witch's House. At least the background seems different from those, so it could be a quilt made of known jokes as patches, or just some more common ones made it in. Even if they're mostly new, I don't think I'd expect much from the guys who made Swamp Princess movie number 12. Let's talk about something better we may never see. El Chavo, the fan-made web series. The trailer isn't available anymore, likely not even because of itself, but because it starts with a montage of parts from the El Chavo series, before the little animation it had. It must have caught the eyes of the most terrible of groups, Terestripa. Fortunately, I found it on TikTok, and translated into Portuguese. The designs are way better, besides the indie animation being more pleasant than the official 3D one, which have less well-known characters like Militia and other original ones by the images, besides El Chapulin Colorado. There's no way to know the story, but it seems clear the usual backgrounds would be used. Yet, it's certainly eye-catching that we have Digital Circus, Hatsune Miku, and it can't be Mac. Whack is Japanese already. Egg Donuts? Egg Mickeys? Besides many characters thrown in all at once in the end. What I'd most be worried about here is how all of that was going to be done. They are teenagers, apparently, and since we don't know the format, Digital Circus, Hatsune Miku, and Neck Goofies might be cutaways, like in Family Guy. The angel being canon would be weird. And of course it wouldn't work without Sterakilla's approval. They think talking about their product is the same as stealing. Imagine when it's reimagined like this. So they bury it instead of talking to the production and telling them to market better as unofficial. And maybe request they include a commercial of where they can see their product. No one stopped watching El Chavo because there was El Chapulin. Nobody will stop themselves from watching the cartoon because there's a fan-made one. No, they'll stop if it's poorly made, which it looks to be. And to finish, just to show I don't hate the 3D one just for being from the most cruel of companies, Televo! Here's a YouTube short by Funk Flenkers of the song Óyelo, escúchalo, meaning hear him, listen to him, from the show. The designs are much more cartoony here, but nothing unpleasant, I'd say. Jesus is kinda boring. We have moments where the animation seems a bit slow, but it doesn't look bad, and it's understandable for internet animation. In fact, it's quite interesting visually. Of course, it's propaganda, as it's always been, but just for not being shoved in the middle of a series, it seems much better. Besides, we have references in the background, the repeated parts are well planned, on top of the choice of moving to the clouds, making it easier to work work than in a tenement. It's the kind of choice that reduces labor and cost without taking away options from the animator. I just don't know if that means he died, or were those the wings from Super Mario? Is El Chavo Yoshi? Please don't you forget to subscribe and hit the bell.